This is Max's EA, a personal executive assistant style dashboard. The goal is simple. Turn scattered work signals into a small, source-backed operating queue. It is not trying to replace the systems where work happens. It sits above them and helps answer the daily question. What actually needs my attention next? Where did it come from? And what should I do with it? The top of the page is intentionally operational. This demo is running in mock data mode, so every page can be reviewed as a working prototype without exposing private enterprise data. I can see that demo data is connected. The dashboard is active and scanning. There are 6 active asks, 3 priority 1 items, 3 new items, 2 lagging items, 8 apps enabled, and the source mode is mock data. The Sync Now button is explicit. Live refresh is a user choice, not a hidden background right. The dashboard tab is the performance view. It tells me whether the week is healthy, overloaded, or source blocked. At the top I can switch between this week and last week, and the app shows the current May 4th through May 10th window. In this demo, 6 actions were given, 1 was closed, the closure rate is 17%, and 6 are still open. The narrative also tells me that docs work is the largest category and that 3 open P1 items should stay ahead of lower priority work. Below that, the dashboard separates workload by action type and by source, so a busy week is not just one generic pile of activity. As I scroll, the dashboard ties the summary back to individual action rows. This is a recurring product principle in Max's EA. Do not just summarize work. Preserve the rows that explain the summary. The user can see source performance, weekly report done, pending now, in progress work, and the detailed action list that produced the weekly readout. The Action tab is the core workflow. This is where the app turns messages, tickets, meetings, and document signals into decisions. The active queue shows 6 source-backed tasks, including Product Council calendar prep, a workspace launch brief from Slack, security review questions from Outlook email, Jira onboarding work, a SharePoint approval, and a Confluence review. Across the top, I can search by person, source, note, or objective. I can filter by priority or source, narrow to lagging work, focus on draft-ready items, or copy the current visible plan. When I select a row, the right panel shows the decision context. For example, the Jira demo item Cloud-1428 comes from Nina Brooks, was received on May 4th, and links back to a sanitized Jira URL. The table gives me priority, received time, originator, source, objective, ETA, and state. The detail panel keeps the original source fields, original message, and source link together with the suggested next step. The lifecycle controls are explicit. I can mark work in progress, submit the edited proposed action, or close the signal. Closing work and teaching the system are not the same operation. The Closed Today view shows a completed customer follow-up from a pilot retro, including the original Outlook source and the closed state message. The News tab is separate on purpose. Roadmap and industry signals are valuable, but they should not compete with immediate closure work unless they become a concrete action. The Company News view monitors configured CORPKB sources for roadmap items around the current window and new feature updates from the last few days. In this demo, it shows Workspace Pilot Readiness, the Knowledge Connector Beta, a Source Health Digest feature, and a Draft First Response pattern. The Industry News view keeps broader AI trends in a separate monitoring lane, including source-grounded agent platforms, executive dashboard observability, and workflow knowledge retrieval. Items can be marked red, but they do not automatically become urgent action queue entries. This keeps awareness separate from execution. The Report tab is for retrospective synthesis. It turns the same underlying action state into a weekly or date range report. I can generate a report, choose the time window, select inclusion signals, and then review the output. In this demo, the generated activity report shows 3 new asks, 1 done item, and 1 blocked item, with source-backed rows for the pilot retro, security review, and workspace launch brief. The Knowledge tab is the memory layer. It stores useful context, but the app is deliberately selective about what goes here. This demo shows a workspace pilot launch context card and a security review response pattern card, both tagged by source and topic. I can also ingest knowledge manually as a link, document, or plain text note. The key idea is explicit memory gating. Closing a task is one operation. Deciding that the lesson should become durable context is another. The Integration tab protects trust. It shows which sources are connected, available, failed, or not configured. In the deployed demo, Slack, Outlook Email, Outlook Calendar, Company Central Jira, Company Knowledge Search, Company Regional Confluence, and Company SharePoint are connected with demo data. Company Cloud Jira is available with 0 current items. That distinction matters because configured or available is not the same as connected with fresh work. Daily Codex app discovery is visible here, and it remains read-only. Discovery can identify available apps or connector paths, but it does not mean the product has permission to write back to those systems. The integration rule engine handles noisy source rows. The demo includes rules for routine notification emails and sample Jira project code patterns. If a source produces repeated non-actionable rows, the user can suppress them before they enter the action board. A is the local assistant panel. It uses the current tab context, dashboard signals, and conversation history for follow-up questions. The assistant is useful for explanation, triage, and drafting, but it does not get unlimited authority over the workspace. The command palette is the fast operator path. With CMDK, I can jump to the performance dashboard, open the action queue, inspect source health, sync now, open the news monitor, start or review the top Jira item, show stale Jira, or review weekly performance. The thesis behind Max's EA is that the most valuable assistant is not the one that produces the most text. It is the one that helps make the next decision with the least ambiguity. The pattern is: observe across systems, normalize into a small set of decisions, preserve provenance, require user approval before external writes, capture closure evidence, and learn only from explicit user choices. That is why this solution is built around source truth, visible integration health, a focused action queue, editable suggested responses, auditable closure, and gated memory. It is a personal operating surface for closing the